when the camera's like this, y'all can't see all of my Halloween glory. And I feel a little ways about this. Like, I could always sit on the floor and do this book haul. Maybe I'll do the next book chat on the floor in front of the table. Because right now, y'all can't see the greatness that is above. So I might have to just enter some clips of what the room looks like. But we're going to do a book haul. And this might be like a multi-day book haul because this is like 2 days worth of books. But I kind of just want to film all the books as I get them so I can get them on the shelf. Because I don't know if I'm going to like find some additional books or if this is going to be it. But I kind of like sharing the books the day of because it's like in real time. Kind of, sort of, if you know what I'm saying. So hopefully my washing machine isn't super... You know what? I am going to pause it because when I play this back, like the mic really does pick up everything. So give me a second. All right. Now that that is not happening anymore, the first bookstore that we have, and I'm trying to find Halloween reads. And I know some people are like, you only read horrors, mysteries, and thrillers. And that is correct. So technically, I'm in spooky season all year round. But I really wanted to find books that like gave slasher, gave watch your back, gives Halloween Day or October. Like, I really would like to find those, but if I can't, I'm just gonna pick the ones that I feel that truly give that kind of vibe. So I already have some ideas for what I'm gonna put on my reading list for October, my TBR, but I already know that, at least a couple of these will be there too. So the first one is from the local bookstore that I like to go to if you're local to this area or you're going to be visiting. It's called the Iterate Bookstore. I love them. And the first book that I saw, and I was really excited because I don't seek out books necessarily by this author because I do like their writing. I think like if you're a Frida McFadden writer, lover, you would like this author as well because these books are quick and they were one of the first authors to I was buying her books and Sally Hempworth was another one. I have probably 4 or 5 each of those because that was the author I was just continuing to buy before I started to branch out. And I saw that they had a new one and I knew it was new because it's hardback. So they got a new one and it's Julie Clark and it's called The Ghostwriter. Honestly, I didn't even know what the book was called when I was like, I'm getting it. I just saw it was Julie Clark and I was like, I love her writing. And then, y'all, look at that. Look at that, which you don't typically get in horror. So for this to not be like a special edition, for it to be like a new book, and they came out with like a decorative book, I'm all for it. I don't know what this is about. And I was going back and forth, like, do I want to know? Because y'all know I like to go into my books blind. But I'm going to be nice to y'all. And we're going to read what all the books are about. So this one, and then from the New York Times bestselling author of The Last Flight and The Lies I Tell. The Lies I Tell, I think, was like the very first book I read when I started reading again. And The Last Flight was like number 2. Both of them were really, really good. The Last Flight had me gasping at the end. But June 1975, the Taylor family shatters in a single night when 2 teenage siblings are found dead in their home. Oh my God. The only surviving sibling, Vincent, never shakes the whispers and accusations that he was the one who killed them. Decades later, I like a time jump. Decades later, the legend only grows, a legend, as his career as a horror writer skyrockets. Ghostwriter Olivia Dumont has spent her entire professional life hiding the fact that she is the only child of Vincent Taylor. Ooh. Now on the brink of financial ruin, she's offered a job to ghostwrite her father's last book. Oh, is he dying? What is going on? What she doesn't know, though, is that this project is another one of his lies. So she been writing the daddy books all the time? Because it's not another horror novel he wants her to write. After 50 years of silence, Vincent Taylor is finally ready to talk about what really happened that night in 1975. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That is Julie Clark. The next one I got is Our Last Resort. Is by Clemence Mechalon or Michelon. I don't know. There it is. He wrote The Quiet Tenant. That was a book that I really, really enjoyed. So when I saw this name, I was like, wait, I feel like I know this name. And my girl was like, oh, he wrote The Quiet. And I was like, because she was like, she hadn't read it yet. I was like, you should read it. So I grabbed this one. I hate the fact that it's a shiny cover. Does anybody else hate shiny? Like, I literally feel like horror thrillers and mysteries, they should always be mad. Like, why are we getting shiny book covers like it's like a 1990s romance? But anyway, innocence doesn't bail you out. It just makes you easier to trap. Frida and Gabriel have come to the stunning Aura Hotel in the secluded desert of Escalante, Utah, seeking a fresh start. Once so close, they were able to finish each other's sentences. They've grown apart in recent years after a sudden, unspeakable tragedy. Now at the Lux Resort, they are ready to reconnect between dips in the pools and hikes and spectacular desert trails. It all feels like paradise until the dead body of a beautiful young woman who was vacationing at the Aura with her powerful, much older husband is discovered. When the local police arrive and suspicion falls quickly on Gabriel, Frida is forced to revisit memories from their upbringings in a cloistered cult in upstate New York. I got so many books about cults in upstate New York. Like, I think it's really a thing there. I really do. Their dramatic escape and the scandal that followed. Frida's belief in Gabriel's innocence never wavered at the time, but now even she can't ignore the evidence mounting against him. Alternating between past and present timelines, Our Last Resort builds toward a shattering climax that uncovers the fate of the murdered Aura guest and poses the question, how well do we ever really know those we love? Taunt, gripping, and intense. Blah, 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 blah. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And the writing in both of these look really, really good. I really like the way this one is written. Oh my gosh. It's so nice. Look at those words. Okay, what's up, lighting? Don't do that. Can you see that? There we go. All right, so really exciting. Go Julia, looking all cute on the back. The next stack of books I got from Barnes & Nobles, one of them is actually a Christmas book, don't judge me. It was there. I was like, why not? Because Christmas books staying out, you can easily be like Christmas horror thriller mystery. Halloween one's not so much. But the first one that I picked up is from our girl, Stacey Willingham, who is technically like local-ish because I can't remember if this lady lived in Charleston and moved to Savannah or she's from Savannah, but basically she's like in the Savannah area, which is not far from Charleston. And so her new book is called Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. She wrote A Flicker in the Dark, one of the first novels I read, as well as All the Dangerous Things, another one of the first. Those two I loved. Her third one, not so much. It was like a really cheesy Lifetime that didn't make sense to me. But I'm hoping this one will redeem her. It's called Forget Me Not. And this one says, ooh, this is a lot. So we're going to kind of paraphrase. 22 years old, Claire Campbell's older sister, Natalie, disappeared shortly after her 18th birthday. She liked disappearances. I'm finding that out. Days later, her blood was found in a car. A man was arrested and the case was swiftly closed. In the decades since, Claire has attempted to forget her traumatic past by moving to the city and climbing the ranks as an investigative journalist, and they always kind of want to be in that same field. Until an unexpected call from her father forces her to come back home and face all anew. With the entire summer now looming ahead, a summer spent with nothing to do in her childhood home with her estranged mother, Claire decides on a whim to accept a seasonal job at Galloway Farm, a muscadine vineyard in coastal South Carolina, less than an hour away from where she grew up. At first glance, Galloway is an idyllic escape for Claire, a scenic retreat full of slow-paced nostalgia, as well as a place where her sister seemed truly happy in the last summer before she vanished. So I'm guessing her sister worked there too. However, as soon as Claire starts to settle in, she stumbles across an old diary written by one of the vineyard's owners, and what at first seems like a story of young rebellion and love turns into something more sinister as it begins to describe details of various unsolved crimes. As the days stretch on, I'm reading the whole thing, I didn't paraphrase. As the days stretch on, Claire finds herself becoming more and more secluded as she starts to obsess over the diary's contents, as well as the lingering feeling that her own sister's disappearance may be somehow tied to it all. Galloway was supposed to be a place to help her move forward, but instead, Claire quickly finds herself immersed in her own dark and dangerous past, not path, but that's what this one's about. So I'm hoping your girl is going to redeem herself, because when I tell y'all, I didn't like the other one. She could have kept it. She could have kept that wherever she got it from. So the next one, I'm so excited because I didn't know this person. Like I've said this before, I don't really be tracking like authors that like have books that I like. Some of them I will like note down, especially if they're more of a newer author where they only have like one book or like a couple books. I'll have them written down like, I want your next book. But if it's a person that has multiple books and there are other books like I can read, I'm not necessarily like, oh, when's your new one coming out? Because I haven't read all your other ones. And T.K. Fisher is one. And I know this is going to be a part of the series. I love this book. Okay, What Moves the Dead was book 1 in this series. And I absolutely love that book. When I tell you that is one of my favorites, it made me giggle. But it's like horror. But T.K. Fisher is always going to make you giggle. Like, it's like she can't even be serious, like when she's trying to be horrific. But it's still horror, but you still have to giggle sometimes. Now, the second book, What Feast at Night, that one was okay. Like, I still remember what happened, but it's a little forgettable. Not forgettable, but it's like, it didn't live up to What Moves the Dead. This is the next one in the series, and it's called What Stalks the Deep. I'm really happy I have all these in hardback because I saw some in softback, and you know how sometimes, like, so you have some in hard, some in soft, and I have some series like that, and I'm like, do I want to go buy, like, the other, whatever I have more of, do I want to replace the other one? But then I'm like, that's a lot of money. But I could always gift the book, right? But anyway, I'm glad I have them all in hardback. They're so cute. What Stalks the Deep. This one I am not going to read. I am sorry. I want to go into it blind. But these are so cute. They are so quick. Like this one has like 172 pages. And I think this one might be the longest out of all three. These kind of, the first one, What Moves the Dead, ties into the fall of the House of Usher type connection, but it's its own stories. So there's that, but I think these are actually movies, I think. I don't know, but I'm excited about this one. I did see that Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware is a Netflix movie. I kind of wish the others were Netflix movies. I might look that up to see if the other ones are, and they're just talking about this one because it's new. That was not my favorite, but hey, I was talking about in another one of my videos, I can't remember which one, but like books that I've read, and then I went and watched like the movie, The Thursday Murder Club. I might go rewatch that one. Like, that's going to be one of those movies I just watch over and over and over. And I hope they make the other ones into movies because it was close enough to the book for me not to be pissed off. Because they didn't ruin the book. But the book is always better. But anyway, I'm like, do I want to watch that since I've already read the book? Wasn't a big fan, but maybe it'll be better as a movie and not as great as a book. Now, the last one I got, or not the last one, but the last adult book. Well, I'm not even going to say adult because the other ones are adults too. But you'll see what I mean. The last one I got, my Christmas book, it's The Christmas Appeal, One Christmas Play, One Dead Santa, Everyone's a Suspect by Janice Hallett. She wrote, this is The Christmas Appeal. So she actually wrote a book called The Appeal. Hopefully they're not connected because I don't have that one. I read her other book, The Appleton Murders or something like that. Her books are really unique because they're all like text messages, emails, like the entire book. And I remember when I first got the book, I was like, am I actually going to be able to read this and get a story out of it? And you can. And I did read this. I did read her other books. I was trying to figure out, did I read it or did I listen to an audiobook, and I actually read it and you can get the story. So I decided to get this one, One Dead Santa, a town full of suspects. Can you uncover the truth? The Christmas season has arrived in Lower Lockwood, and the Fairway players I love that, it's so Christmassy, are busy rehearsing their festive holiday production of Jack and the Beanstalk. Holiday? To raise money for a new church roof. I guess you could do any play, but I was thinking it would be like a Christmas Carol, you know? But despite the season, goodwill is distinctly lacking among the amateur theater enthusiasts with petty rivalries, a possibly asbestos-filled beanstalk, and some potentially absent players behind the scenes. Of course, there's also the matter of the dead body on stage. Oh, Lord. Who could possibly have had oh, Lord's not in here, but I'm just saying. Call had the victim on their naughty list. Join lawyers Femi and Charlotte as they investigate Christmas letters, examine emails, and pore over police transcripts to identify both the victim and killer before the curtain closes on their holiday production for good. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's super cute. I think I at least want to get like 5 or 6 Christmas books. I found so many Christmas books like after Christmas, but I was still reading it because I was still stuck in the Christmas season in January. But hopefully I can get like 4 or 5 more. Now the last book, I got one for me and my daughter. Now I have literally all of the books that came out at least when I was a kid. The new ones by Mike the Son, I don't have those. But I'm pretty sure my mom gave all my stuff away, right? So I decided that I'm going to start recollecting them. Now, I'll probably be like thrifting them because I really want the old covers. But I was like, I got to get this because I'm going to put it in my daughter's Halloween box. And yes, when I say my daughter, I mean the 21-year-old, but that's okay. So this is the Berenstain Bears Trick or Treat. It's their Halloween book. It is from the past, but this is a newer version. So you got like stickers and stuff like that. But here's the little checklist. And the other one had lists inside too, but they also had like the covers on the back, But I'm literally going to, and they're actually, I don't think these are definitely not in order. They're in alphabetical order. I'm looking at that because I'm like, some of these books came out first. But I got these. I got one for her and one for me. Like I said, I am restarting my collection. And yes, I am counting this as a book that I read. And I'm probably going to read it 30 times this October. But it's okay. So that's all I have so far. So I'm going to pop back in and then show you what books I pick up on my next haul. So be right back. All right, y'all. I am back with part 2 of this book haul. And I have to tell you some stuff and show you pictures up here because I actually ordered some of these books from Blackwell's, which so I'm recording this like kind of backwards because I already said this. So by the time I say this now, you're going to hear it again. But anyway, I actually ordered some of my books from Blackwell, which is a UK-based bookstore. But some of them haven't come in yet. What am I doing? I didn't want to do that. Okay. This is why I was trying to be fancy. Let me just... I can't. And I don't have like an actual tablet, which would be really cute. Or maybe I should just buy like a camera. Like an actual camera so I don't have to record on my phone. All the things. Okay, let me restore what I just closed so I can go over these books. So anyway, Blackwell's is a UK-based brand. And shout out to Sho'Shanna C. Schroeder. If you guys don't follow her, you should. Especially if you like to read things other than horrors, thrillers, and mysteries. Because she reads everything pretty much. But basically, they are a UK bookstore. And the reason I ordered these books from there is because she mentioned a book, which I did order, that's going to be for next month. But there were 2 books that I wanted by a UK author, and those books are not available here. So what I found is like sometimes it's really weird because you know how you think Amazon just says everything? Well, these books were only like available like in audio or on Kindle, or the price was like ridiculous. Like one of the books was like $40 for a paperback, and I'm like, no. So I went to Blackwell's and I was able to get 2 of the books that I do need for spooky season. So we're going to talk about those. The first is It Should Have Been You, and the other is No One Saw a Thing. The other plus side, though, to this is that 3 of the 4 books that I'm ordering are not even available in the US. But because they are UK authors, they came out earlier in the UK, so I actually get them earlier here in the States. So that is a plus. But Andrea Morrow, It Should Have Been You, and No One Saw a Thing. So the book that I have read by this author, which made me want to get more of her books, especially for October, is Someone is in the Attic. And I'll insert that here. If you've not read that, I definitely recommend you putting that on your list because it gives true like horror movie vibes, but not gruesome horror, but definitely like Scream horror vibes. somebody's around the corner, I'm peeking, I hear noise in the attic. It is that kind of horror, which is such good reading for spooky season specifically. So when I was thinking of like authors that I would want to, get another book from, because I just know they had good spooky season vibes, she popped in my head. So I grabbed two. It Should Have Been You. Let's see. On that one, the only thing I don't even know. Like, I read the blurb, and it's, they came for you, but they got the wrong house. Okay. The other one, No One Saw a Thing. It says 2 children get on, only one gets off. I like books that happen on trains. I do. So I got that one from her as well. So those are 2 specifically for spooky season. Now the other 2, because I can't help myself, are not for spooky season, but hey, book hauls are book hauls. The other one I got is a Cinnamon Falls Mystery. I feel like that one's going to be perfect for like November. Like, it's between me wanting to jump into my Christmas books, but not yet, like that first part of November. So I thought that would be perfect. Shaughnessy Schroeder actually recommended that one, which brought me to the site anyway. She does like more cozy mysteries. She did say this one is super, super cozy. It's not super thrilling, but like I said, for me, having such light mysteries like that are great because I'm always reading thrilling things. So the last one is Ms. Plansky Goes Rogue. I read the first book in that and the Cinnamon Falls Mysteries by R.L. Kilmore, and I believe she's a Black author. And then Mrs. Plansky Goes Rogue is by Spencer Quinn. I read the first book in that series, and it is so cute. Y'all know how I feel about my seasoned folk. Basically in the first book, she gets scammed. And she goes across like the country, across the globe to go get her money. Okay, so I totally like that one. So I'm excited to see what happens in the next installment. So those are all the books that I ordered from Blackwell's. Now, the other spooky season books I got, 3 of these are actually from, 2 are from Dollar Tree. Well, no, all 3 of these are actually from Dollar Tree, actually. The first one is Deadfall. This one seems to have all the spooky, thrilling vibes. This is about twin brothers who are basically already in some mess. They're trying to get away from their current life and start over. But while they're out escaping their life, they see an injured deer, a deer that's been hit. And as they're driving, they see the car that hit the deer, but the driver is nowhere in sight. And then they hear a noise from the trunk. So I was like, absolutely going to get that. This is a recent Dollar Tree buy, like a week. So definitely check your Dollar Trees. The next one is Daphne. It's by Josh Malerman. This is the author of Bird Box, and I'm assuming it's like that big Bird Box movie that people were watching on Netflix. I don't know. I didn't look it up. But anyway, the quote on the back said, Daphne is a superb serial killer novel and a great coming of age story. I was like, this looks spooky and it looks like it will be great for the season. This actually, I believe, is supposed to be a young adult novel because it says a horror has a new name, Daphne, a brutal enigmatic woman stalks a high school basketball team in this reimagining of the slasher genre. So I'm guessing like this teen, I'm guessing it's a teen, but it actually says woman, is just stalking these students at this high school. I didn't read the entire blurb, but I was like, that sounds good. This book has no chapters. We're going to see how that works. And then the last one I got, I was so excited to see. I actually already own this book, but they had so many copies, so I decided to grab one for my cousin. I actually bought this from a regular bookstore, but they have this in Dollar Tree. Part 2 of this series is coming out. This is a duology. This is like one of my favorite horrors. This is actually based like on, I can't remember exactly what they call the genre, but like Japanese horror is kind of what I feel like it was a term, but I know it is definitely like based off of like Japanese horror or something like that. I feel like there's like a specific genre name. But anyway, it's called Find Him Where You Left Him Dead by Kristen Simmons. Oh, yes. Jumanji, but Japanese inspired and really disturbing. But I think they had something else to that effect, because it is like based on like there's Japanese like folklore and like gaming in this, but gaming in the sense of like puzzle type games and myths and stuff like that. At dawn, he'll be gone and you'll be here forever. When this book ended, I was literally sitting here like, no, you will not end this book this way. And we get a part 2. So that one is actually coming out. I have to check, but it's either coming out this year or beginning of next year. This is a young adult novel. I actually did not know that when I was reading it. It doesn't read young adult. Yes, it is about kids, so I guess that should have been my clue. It is about some teens in high school, but it doesn't read young adult. So those are the 3 I got from Dollar Tree. They had tons of these. Like, when I say Dollar Tree is literally becoming a little bookstore, they have multiple copies. So you're not getting random stuff. You're not just getting books by authors that no one like reads anymore. You're getting actual authors still producing books. Now, the last 3, like I said, I know I was going on a spooky hunt, but hey, we are there for the books. But these last 3 came from Dollar Tree. This first one, my guy, Richard Osman, The Impossible Fortune. This is the 5th? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think this is the 5th installment of the Thursday Murder Club series. I'm very excited about it. I don't know what it's about, but I love my gang, so I can't wait to read that. I'm not going to read that this October because, you know, we're trying to stick to the big spookies, but that's definitely probably going to be like a November, December read. And speaking of November, December, they have more Christmas books out, y'all. And last year, when I wanted Christmas books, I literally can only find like 1 or 2. And then I felt like after Christmas, I ended up buying like multiple Christmas books like after Christmas and reading them in December because I couldn't find them. So this year, I was on the hunt to make sure I get them ahead of time. So I picked up 2 more. The first one is Miss Winter in the Library with a Knife. Find the clues, play along, solve the murder first. This is by Martin Edwards. And I believe, you know something? I feel like the name of this author is familiar because I think I've read one of his books before. So I read the book, The Puzzle of Blackstone Lodge. Y'all, I kept saying I feel like Martin Edwards sounds familiar in the way this book is written. Y'all, I felt like a dummy when I read that book because the mystery is literally written for people who can figure out mysteries, but you gotta like know history. It's okay. I still enjoy reading the book. How they came to the conclusion and when they started like putting the clues together and talking about how they figured it out, I was like, you got to be a daggone historian to get that, but that's okay because we're here now. So I'm actually really excited to this one though. It takes place in England. I think it's gonna be cute. Even if I can't figure out how they pieced it together, I'm down for the read. And then the last one I got is Murder at Holly House by Denzel Mayrick. That one was by Martin Edwards. And this one says, in a village of lies, death comes with the snow. A quintessential slice of Yuletide murder mystery, says The Sun. This actually, I didn't know this one takes place in London as well. I didn't read the back. A village of secrets, a mystery that can't be solved, and a Christmas to remember. And then they have some more words, but I just kind of want to go into it blind. But this one it takes place in Yorkshire in 1952. So I just thought that'd be super cute for the holidays. I think I might have my holiday book quota. I don't know. I think I have like 4 Christmas specific books, and I don't want to OD on Christmas books, but I think I might have enough. I know I at least have 3, so maybe like 1 or 2 more. I don't know. But anyway, that's the rest of this particular book haul. Can't wait to see what you guys are reading. And, you know, have you heard of any of these books that I just talked about in this video? What are you planning on hauling soon? What's on your list? For those of you who are new here, thank you so much. My name is Sho'Shanna. And for those of you who keep coming back, I appreciate you. See you in the next one.